just a few minutes here, we'll have started the second round here in Lexington, Kentucky, and excited to see these teams compete tonight. For those of you who were not here or not listening last night, Berry College played Covenant College. They defeated Covenant 3-0. That's how they came into tonight's game. And then Carnegie Mellon defeated Southern Virginia 3-0, and that's how they got their ticket here. So both teams with sweeps yesterday to make it into the second round, and as you'll see, they are marching in now as we speak. I think the one thing that becomes very evident is when I have talked to the student athletes how very excited that they are to have this opportunity. I think everybody realizes after COVID, the opportunity to play absolutely can be, unfortunately, taken away during a pandemic. And so having the opportunity to play is probably more appreciated than ever before. So very excited to be able to do that and do it here in Lexington, Kentucky. So we will welcome the Berry Vikings, and they will be playing against Carnegie Mellon University Tartans. And so we will be doing the national anthem. So I will be pausing here, be back with you in just a moment. And probably a good opportunity to wish all of those veterans a happy Veterans Day today, and thank you for your service. First, we have number 4, Peyton Brysinger, senior outside hitter from Cincinnati, Ohio. Then number 10, Olivia Mallow, junior, middle hitter from Leesburg, Virginia. Number 12, Emily Rapek, a senior setter from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Number 15, Molly Bergering, senior, right side from Cummings, Georgia. And we have number 20, Cypress Gunther, sophomore, middle hitter from New Braunfels, Texas. And then Kate Whittle, she's the libero, sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky. And just introducing the head coach, Caitlin Mortarardi. Now for Carnegie Mellon Tartans. Number 5, Elizabeth Schelmer, freshman from Centerville, Ohio. Number 7, Mindy Lai, junior from Belmont, Massachusetts. Number 8, Stella Yan, a senior setter from Coppell, Texas. Number 10, Kaya is a freshman middle hitter from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we have number 14, Isabel Shepard, junior from San Francisco, California. And then Jane Dean, number 18, junior middle middle hitter from Wilmette, Illinois. And then Abby Chen is their libero, sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia. Head coach is Ann Bach. I did miss somebody on the Berry squad. I'm sorry, they did not send me the rosters of who was starting up, so I'm having to look down at the same time as I look at the roster, so I apologize. I have missed someone on the starting lineup there, but we will get those that individual from Berry, and I'll communicate that really soon to you. Both teams are huddled up as this is what you play all season to get to. And hopefully in just a moment I'll be able to tell you who will be playing for Berry. I'm thinking it might be number 8, Jazzy Ennis, the junior outside hitter from Johns Creek, Georgia. It is. Jazzy had a fabulous game yesterday, so we'll be looking to see what she does today. If yesterday is any indication, we should see some exciting play here. Again, trying to see who is going to be serving here as we start set game number 1. So it looks like the Carnegie's going to start. It's going to be number 20, Abby Chen, with the service. Ball goes to libero. On the outside to Olivia Mallow, and that's going to be a kill. So Berry starting really strong here with a kill right off the bat. Substitutions have come in. Jen Ayton, number 5, senior from Spring Hill, Florida, has gone back to serve. Great serve there that equals an ace. Setter for Carnegie is Stella Yan. She's the senior from Coppell, Texas, at the front of the net. Balls to the outside. That was Lauren Richard. Ball goes up and seems like a miscommunication by Berry, but that's going to be a point and service over. Bella Woodard is checking in for Carnegie and had another substitution over for Berry, but I just missed that one there. Try to catch up here soon and see who that was. Ball's up to Jazzy Ennis. Out to Peyton Breisinger. Tipped there by Laura Richard. Keeping the ball alive deep into Berry's. Tipped off the hand. So that was a good tip there by Cypress Gunther. Off the hands of the Carnegie Mellon blockers. Number 12, Emily Rapick. Rapak from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And that serve goes long. So point for Carnegie. Got Catherine Jackson checking in. She'll be on the front row. Took the place of Mindy Lai on that one. Back to serve is Laura Richard. Laura Raychard. I think I'm saying that wrong. Laura Raychard. They calling that out. I think it was. It was Molly Bergen a little bit long there. Out of bounds. So Laura Raychard is back. Ball comes right over, and that is an ace. So Claremont with that takes the lead. I mean, I did that yesterday. I'm so sorry, Carnegie. I'm just, when I see the scoreboard in CC, I automatically go to Claremont Mudscripts, but that is Carnegie. My apologies. Balls to the outside. Nice hit there by Peyton Brysinger off the hands of the blockers, and a point service over to Berry. Berry's Peyton Brysinger now back for the service. All tied up here. That was Catherine Jackson with the hit. Back row attack is tipped. That was Peyton Brysinger, and a miscommunication on Carnegie's side lands. Point goes to Berry. Brysinger back. Then for the Vikings, we have number 12, Emily Rapek, as the setter. She's in the back row right now. A tip there, well executed. That was Kai that did that. Looks like a substitution is about to take place. Avani Shashai has come in to serve. Yesterday, she, as I recall, had a great day serving, had quite a few aces, and looks like her serve is difficult to handle just by that example, as Berry misses an easy free ball over the net. She is back to serve again. She's the outside and middle hitter, 6 foot, from Cincinnati, Ohio. Another good serve. Hit there in the middle. Another hit, and that one's going to be down. Back to serve is the libero, Kate Whittle from Louisville, Kentucky. And nice hit there by Bella Woodward, who had a great day yesterday. She's a freshman from Houston, Texas. Squeezes that right between the blockers. Elizabeth Stilmer is back to serve for Carnegie. She's the freshman from Centerville, Ohio. And goes out to Jazzy Ennis, and she just lays it down. Sees the opening there with the block pulled in and puts it down. Ennis had a great day yesterday and looks like she'll start off the same. Calling that one long. That was served by Molly Bergen. Service now back to Molly Bergen. Free ball over. See if Berry will be able to use this. Outside to Ennis, and it is down. So Carnegie moves over to the line. The blockers push in, and she takes the diagonal. And that ball is going to be long. Mindy Lai now will be back to serve for Carnegie. Passes in the back row. They try to make something. It was going to be a back row attack, which went really well. That was Peyton Brysinger. Tip by Laura Raychard. That's off the hands for Jazzy Ennis, and that's gonna be a kill. So point for Berry. Berry has taken a 2-point lead. Ennis now back to serve. Nicely done tip there by Kaya. Oop, nope, I had that wrong. I'm sorry, I saw that number wrong. That was Jane Dean with that tip. Kai has just checked back in. It's Peyton Brysinger, free ball coming back over. Malo with the hit, and she finds the hole. Carnegie is just a little bit slow getting to those blocks, and they're leaving openings, and those openings Berry Vikings are taking advantage of. That's going to send number 5, Jen Atten, back to serve for the Berry Vikings, as they have Now still the 2-point lead. Ball is on the outside. And that is in. Again, that was Laura Raychard with that. Bella Woodward checking in. And Olivia Mallow for the Vikings checking in as the libero goes in there. And that's Emily Rappick. She's the setter and decides that one's close to the net. She's going to go in and take it and does a nice job with that. The Vikings playing a 5-1 system, as does Carnegie. And nice job there by Bella Woodward, up and above that block and goes diagonal with it. Catherine Jackson has now checked in. She's on the front row, along with Bella Woodward and Kaya Herkenrother. Hoping for a touch there, Molly Berganez, but it's wide and goes out. That's going to send Laura Raychard back to serve. Big swing there by Peyton Brasinger. Coming back to her, she gets that one in and not blocked. Over to Bella Woodward. Nice play there by, nice play there by the libero for Barry, Katie Whittle, but Ennis finally gets it over, but it hits the antenna. So point and service back to Carnegie. Carnegie now with a 1-point lead. It's going to be a long tip to where they're seeing opening. It's going to be a free ball over. And that was Cypress Gunther with both those hits and finally the kill there at the end. All tied up here, 13 all, as Peyton Brasinger goes back to serve. And this game has given fans everything they hoped in a second round game. Ace for Peyton Brasinger. And that ball goes long. So tied up again. Bonnie Shoshani has gone back to serve and checked into the game for the Tartans. That one's off the hands of Jazzy Ennis, out of bounds. Right now, the interesting thing is Barry's leading in kills 11-6. That Carnegie Mellon is only, they're ahead by 1, even though the kill situation is what it is. So one of the things I noted yesterday, if you listened to the broadcast or even if you didn't, Carnegie Mellon had a lot of service errors. And we have not seen that from them today. And I think you want your team to serve aggressively. But if you're just giving away points, that's a problem too. So definitely came out with a little bit of a different mentality about that tonight. And I think that's good. And that's probably what's helped them with the lead at this point, because they're going to need every point to beat this Barry team, and the other way around. Barry's going to need every opportunity. So missing on serves is going to be detrimental. Both are hitting about the same percentage, 33 and 31%. And so really Barry's has had more total attacks. Official calls them to come back over. Now, the one thing we saw in the Carnegie Mellon yesterday, Woodward had 7 kills, Jackson had 9, and Kaya had 8. And as a team, they hit 24%, so hitting better than that right now. As I mentioned, their service errors were 12 yesterday, so doing much better on that regard. And that's an unusual service error. I think I talked her into that one. She actually did a fabulous job serving for the Tartans yesterday. And they had a lot of blocks yesterday in the Southern Virginia game. They had 10 block assists and 1 solo. Back to serve for the Vikings is Kate Whittle. And they're going to call interference that she reached over on that one, I believe is what he called. Kate Whittle back to serve again. That's Bella Woodward. And again, she was a key figure in their game yesterday, so good to see her doing well already. Schilmer has checked in for her, the freshman, going to the back row to serve. Got Mallow and Bergen on the front row for Barry, along with Rapak, the setter. Nice dig there, picking up Bergens. And looks like a little bit of communication with Jane Dean on that one. Did not go as I think Carnegie had planned. Molly Bergen back to serve. So Dean and Schilmer on the front. Back row attack. And that was Schilmer on the back row on attack, and they blocked her. I don't think she saw she was getting ready to get blocked, and so she didn't go up and over top. That's going to be a timeout. So Coach Bach has called a timeout. She's in her 4th year at Carnegie, a graduate of Juniata where she played. Her record is 39-23. So be interesting to see what Coach is saying as Barry now has a 2-point lead. We'll be right back with you. This is the Transy Sports Network. And we're back in action here. Again, Molly Bergen back to serve. Jamie Dean and Catherine Jackson on the front row for the Tartans. Errant pass. But Catherine Jackson is able to put it. There's Jazzy Ennis. She's able to go straight up and down there and get a kill. So when you come out of timeout, coaches, I'm sure, hoping to break up the momentum and get it shifted back their way to the Tartans, but that did not happen in this case. No, at least not yet. Back row attack there. And there's a call for a player in the net. So a break there for Carnegie, so we'll see what happens here. With that service was Catherine Jackson. Back row attack there by Peyton Brasinger. On the outside, that's a hit by Laura Raychard. Ennis with a hit, and again, goes right off top those blocks. Does a great job. And that's going to give Barry a 3-point lead now, and 20-17. Ennis now on the back row. And that ball was hit by number 18, Jane Dean. Then it came back over when it was blocked. They tried to get it, but it went out of bounds. So it's going to go back to Ennis for the service. Serve is up. That's over the net. It's coming right back at you. And Malo is so excited. Sometimes those opportunities get you so excited that you end up missing, and that happened in that case. So ball back over to Carnegie. Passes up, back to Malo. Nice dig there by Carnegie. It's behind Laura Raychard, but she's able to reach behind and roll it in. Barry should have started to move up, seeing how that set was done, but did not adjust to it. That ball's over. And they won the battle on that for Carnegie. So an errant pass as number 12, Emily Rappick, the setter, tries to hold her ground. But Kaya ends up, being able to push it back. So here we are at 2021 as Coach Morey calls a timeout for the Vikings. We'll be right back with you. This is the Transy Sports Network. And we're back with you. Coming out of that timeout that Barry called. Now each coach has used one timeout. Barry is leading this by 1 point. It has been a back and forth game the entire time. It's Malo, and that's going to be a cross court, but it's out of bounds. That's Abby Chin, the sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, serving for the libero, serving for Carnegie. An off-speed hit there by Peyton Braysinger. I don't know if Braysinger mishit it or meant to do that. It almost looked a little bit of a mishit, but anyways, it landed exactly where it needed to. Jen Ayton is gone back to serve for Barry as they have a 1 point lead, 22-21. Oh, and that was number 15, Laura Raychard, and she put it down. She meant business on that one. Bella Woodward has just checked in. So Woodward joins that front row with Raychard. Stella Yan there on the service. Ball to the outside, tipped along there by Peyton Braysinger. Out to Laura Raychard. Nice block there on Peyton Braysinger. Switches it up, goes to Cypress Gunther. Free ball coming over. And that's going to hit the pole. So that was Peyton Braysinger, but she hits the antenna, sending it back over. And Stella Yan now back to service. And Claremont with a 1 point lead now. And that ball is long. Definitely not what you want to see here. There's that fine line between serving aggressive and needing to get it in because you're just giving points away. Tied up here 23-23. That's Emily Rappick, the setter. Just did that. And an errant pass into the net is now going to send it into game point there for Barry. Barry fans are up on their feet, but there's going to be a timeout by Carnegie Mellon. We'll be right back with you. So take a breath. See you in a second. And we're back with you. So just a quick review here. Barry's got 14 kills to Carnegie's 10. Barry's had 8 attack areas to Carnegie's 3. So their hitting percentage is reflective of that. Is right now Barry's at 17% and Carnegie Mellon's at 28. So interesting some of the differences that we've seen play out as the game has progressed. Again, that's Emily Rappick that just made the service. Taking it out there. Does not make it over the net. That was number 10, Kaya. So Barry capturing game set number 1, 25-23 over Carnegie Mellon. So let's talk about some of the other games going around. Christopher Newport is now leading 2-0 over Ithaca. Scranton behind 0-3 for MIT, so that would be a game there. NYU, 2-1 over Salisbury. And Hope is leading 1-0 over Wash U. A couple games have just gotten started. Obviously ours just finishing up our first set here as Barry has claimed the first one. Again, Barry comes here after beating comes in today's game after beating Covenant College yesterday in the sweep, and Carnegie Mellon comes here today after sweeping Southern Virginia yesterday. The second game of today will feature Emory versus Transylvania. Both of those teams also had sweeps last night. And so expecting another, just like this one, a battle of the two. So Transy swept Randolph-Macon yesterday in the 8 o'clock game. Emory swept Bethany of West Virginia. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments the two coaches will make as they come back out. They're even on digs right now, 9-9. Actually, Barry's had more attacks at 35 compared to 25. Reception errors are just about even. Blocks is a different story. Total blocks for Barry is 4 compared to Carnegie, which is only 1. Again, service errors are just about even. Service aces are about even. And when you're in a tightly contested game like this, I mean, all those things really do matter. So be really interesting to see these two very solid coaches and see what they do. Both of them having played at Division III institutions. Coach Martirati had played at Christopher Newport, and Bach, as we mentioned, playing at Juniana. And so, and it's always fun to see coaches who have played at the Division III level continue to play at the next level. All right, I'm going to take my breath, be right back with you as we start set number 2, game number 1 on round 2. And here we go to set 2. I said it earlier, but always great repeating it. You know, today is Veterans Day, and a huge shout out to all those who have served our military. I cannot even begin to think of the sacrifices that you and your family have made. And so just to thank you for your service. There's never enough time to say that. So happy for the opportunity to say it on air, and hopefully there's some out here listening. And if you haven't had the opportunity to thank someone who served today, hopefully you will. Okay, so up is going to be Peyton Breisinger serving for the Vikings. Serve is up. It's Woodard here on the strong side, goes over to weak side. That was Catherine Jackson, and nice hit there by Cypress Gunther. So starts off with the kill. So Barry starting off exactly the same way they did last time with the kill to get the point. Service is up. Ball on the outside to Jackson. Close on the net there. So close that Woodward hits it. There's a tip. So a tip there by Cypress Gunther, and they cannot hold on to it. So another point there for Barry. There's a service. And nice job again by Bella Woodward, who has continued to play strong for Carnegie with a kill there. She goes off the hands of the blocker. Number 5, Elizabeth Schilmer, is back to serve for Carnegie. Serve goes. I thought Kate Whittle was going to take that one, and she was actually opening her arms as the libero to let it go. Jen Atten is coming in to serve. Ayton. Got Bergen, Mallow, Ennis on the front row for Barry. That's Jackson. First hit there was Dean. Back row attack. Goes off the hands. It was Peyton Breisinger. They went to her in the back row and goes off the hands of the blocker. So Carnegie has Jackson and Dean on the front row, along with their setter, Stella Yan. Deep serve there. Goes out to Jackson. She gets it in between the block of Bergen and Mallow for a kill. Substitution as Mindy Lai comes in. She'll be serving. Setter Rappick is on the front row with Bergen and Mallow for Barry. With such success, I don't blame them. They go back to Peyton Breisinger for attack from the back row with a pass being on the back row. Mindy Lai. Good pass there. Molly Bergen with the hit. Goes off the hands of the blockers and lands diagonally between two of the players there for the Tartans. Bergen back to serve for the Vikings as the Vikings has a 2-point lead, 5-3. Nice up there. It's Malo in the middle. There's a kill there by Jane Dean. Earlier that was Laura Raychard who hit the ball. She was on the weak side. Row shot there by Jazzy Ennis. Ennis back to serve. Strong side hit there by Laura Raychard. Roll over there by Bergen. Dean with the middle hit. Malo with the middle hit off the hands of Kaya. Sorry, not Abby Dean. That's Kaya. Kaya Herkenrother. Ennis back to serve. Berry with a 3-point lead, 7-4. Off the center there, hit by Herkenthor. Oh, nice job. Takes the ball to the back corner for a kill, and so Berry quickly jumps out to a 4-point lead. Let's look at some of the leaders on the team. Jazzy Ennis, number 8 for Berry with 6 kills, leading all. Followed by Cypress Gunther with 4, as well as Peyton Bressinger with 4. For Carnegie Mellon, we have Bella Woodward with 5 and Laura Raychard with 4. Hitting percentage right now for Jazzy is 56%. Cypress Gunther is 50%. Bella Woodward is 80%. Kaya Herkenrother is 500. I mean, they've got some really good hitting percentages up here. Coach would love any of these right now. Looking at some other things to sort of report out to you. So right now, Olivia Mallow with 2 total blocks, and she leads both for both teams. Peyton Brasinger leading Berry with 5 digs, followed by Kate Whittle with 4. And for Carnegie Mellon, Stella Yan, the setter, leading with 4 digs, followed by Elizabeth Shelmer with 2. Laura Raychard is 2, and Abby Chen with 2. So back is number 8, Jazzy Ennis. She's from Johns Creek, Georgia, junior. Ball is up. They are ready for that one. Tip there by Mallow. Back to the outside. It's going to be a tip. That's Laura Raychard on the strong side for Carnegie. There she goes again. And that comes off the block. So 3 hits there for Laura Raychard, and then she ends up getting the kill. Number 8, Stella Yan, the setter, has gone back to serve. On the front for Carnegie, we have Laura Raychard and Bella Woodward. And Kaya all on the front. That's going to go out to Laura. There she goes. Oh, nice dig there by Kate Whittle, but Jazzy Ennis can't do anything with it. So Carnegie Mellon digging themselves back as they've gained a point. So 6-9 for Carnegie. That's Laura Raychard back to serve. Ennis with the pass. Onto the outside, and boy, she lays it down. That was Peyton Brasinger. Peyton Brasinger showing up big today in this game, seeing the hole and the gap in the block. Emily Rappick going back to serve. Service is long over to Bella Woodward. And she tries for the line, but just misses. Berry back to a now 5-point lead. Passes up, goes to the outside, tip there by Catherine Jackson. Coming over to Peyton Brasinger. Ball is up, over to Bella Woodward. She's the lefty, back over to Jackson, and that's going to be a kill. Substitution here as Avani Shashad comes back to serve. So Jackson, Woodard, and Dean on the front row now for Carnegie. That's going to be Peyton Brasinger as she rolls it over. Bella Woodward, she sees the gap on that line and she takes it. Tried a minute ago, missed it. She didn't miss that time. It's going to be a kill for her. Again, strong server up for Carnegie. Shoshana has done a great job for them. That's a tip long, but they got it covered. That was Catherine Jackson, but she comes to the big block over there. Molly Bergen part of that block, along with Cypress Gunther. Back is Peyton Brasinger to serve. Ball's up. Woodward goes for the tip right over top of the hands of the block. Nice job there by Peyton Brasinger to make a hit out of that. Bella Woodward, again, a lefty. And Molly Bergen finds the gap there in the block. I continue to be so impressed with these young ladies, finding where the blocks are not coming together and then utilizing that to hit. And that's what separates a lot of the teams from good to great. Peyton Brasinger back to serve. That ball is going to be close. Molly Bergen had to do what she could, had to have some help there. It's Bella Woodward way off. Jazzy Ennis getting her own. Molly Bergen again. That's a block, and they do it that time. So Jackson and Jane Dean with the block there. Elizabeth Schilmer coming back to serve. Sometimes the action's faster than I can talk, so I apologize if I miss a hitter there too. Sometimes it just goes too fast. There we go, Jazzy Ennis. She takes her own ball, gets it over, and it hits the hole. For a minute there, I questioned if that was actually over the net, but I don't see any arguments, or so it must have. It's hard to see it from here. Jen Ayton back to serve, senior from Spring Hill, Florida. Berry now with a 14-9 lead. Ball is close, and unfortunately Stella Yan, the setter, cannot do anything as it was stuck in the net. Passing is critical. It's not only critical for things like that, but what kind of hit can you get out of it, you know? So we're going to have a timeout here. Ann Bott takes a timeout as Berry takes their largest lead of the game. Thank you for joining. This is Transy Sports Network. We'll be right back with you. Jen Ayton, number 5, back to serve for Berry. As Coach Bach hopes Carnegie Mellon can stop the momentum that the Vikings have. Ball is up. And that is a kill. That was Catherine Jackson, the freshman from Davie, Florida. Mindy Lai coming in. Oops, they've asked for a hold here. Mindy Lai going back to serve. On the front row for Berry right now is Bergen and Malo. Back to Bergen. Oh, she finds a hole, and she puts it down. Bergen has hot today. Berry back with a 6-point lead. Passes up, goes to the outside. That's Laura Raychard. Strong side hitter. Jazzy Ennis with that hit. On to the back row. There's a call. Double hit there. That's going to give a point to Berry. Molly Bergen still on the back row serving for Berry College Vikings. Off the net there is Laura Raychard, and that was Malo in the middle. Olivia Malo, the junior from Leesburg, Virginia, putting it down, and Carnegie not able to handle it. So Berry with their largest lead as Bergen's back to serve. That serve is long, so a break there from Carnegie. See if they can get themselves back in it. Abby Chen, the libero sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, back to serve. Ennis with that pass. Going to go on the back row there, and that's going to be long, so go there with Peyton Breisinger. Pass there by Jazzy Ennis. Overruns it, has to roll it. Ball on the outside. It's coming again. And good heads-up play there by Laura Raychard, who's continued. She hits the ball, it comes back over, and then she plays it back. Berry's going to call a timeout. Still with a 5-point lead. Leading 18-13. For those of you who may have joined late, Berry won that first set. We're in set number 2. And later tonight at 8 o'clock, we will be seeing Emory University versus Transylvania. So thank you for joining us for second round action of the 2022 Division III Women's Volleyball Championship hosted by Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky. We'll be right back with you. Abby Chen back to serve for Carnegie as they try to make some movement here. That one was close to being out, but they take it. Ennis on the outside. Doug there. That was number 15, Leah Raychard. Raypeck on the ground to get that one over. Tip comes through. Ennis again with a hit, and it goes wayward. And that's going to be a point and service to the Vikings. That was Kaya Herkenrother in the middle there. Ennis back to serve. Berry with a 6-point lead. Surfaces up. Passes way off the net there, and sorry, got some background noise there. Herkenrother tries to tip it, but she's way too far off, and the block's all over her. I think they had the play in mind and didn't make an adjustment for the pass not being where it should have been. Ball goes over the net. That's a roll shot there by Breisinger. Ball goes out. Hard hit ball there by 15 Raychard. Tipped by Mallow. Tipped by the setter. Back to the outsider. That's Breisinger. And they're going to call a tip on that play. It looked like Carnegie was trying to get out of the way as it was going to be out of bounds, but they call that a tip. Or a touch, I should say. I don't think it was a block that touched it. Ennis back to serve. 8-point lead. That's going out to, that ball went out to Laura Raychard. She tries to make a tip and a push tip, and she doesn't get it over the net. Ennis back to serve again. Laura Raychard with a hard hit there. Malo turning it. They get it up. Back to Raychard. Nice dig there by the libero. Malo with a tip. It's caught. Back row attack. Going to the outside. That's Brysinger keeping the ball alive. Raychard. That was Whittle with that one. Malo gets it, and it's going to be out. So long rally there. Maybe one of the longest of this game so far as we see the back and forth. And you really start to understand and appreciate, you know, we don't talk a lot about who the passers are, but passing is so critical to how well your team does. Whittle with a great pass up, speaking of. Braysinger there with a awesome hit that started with that great pass. Free ball on the way over. And then Rapik, smart setter who sees the hole and takes it over. You got to remember, and a 5-1, that setter when they're on the front row has the opportunity to make that play. Clapper Gunther has checked in. Whittle back to serve. Nice pass up. Let's see if they can do something with it. Over to Woodward. Molly Bergen there on the pass. A little bit off, but she hits their arms, and that was Peyton Brysinger. And with a 10-point lead, we are at set point for Berry. Kate Whittle, the libero, back to serve. Ball's off. That went to Laura Raychard, but she was wide on that, and that's going to be set point. So Berry winning the second set 25-14. So Berry ahead here 2-0. But this is NCAA second round, so I would say nothing is over until the game is officially over. Stay with us. This is a Transy Sports Network. Thank you for joining us at the 2022 Division III Women's Volleyball Championship Regional, hosted by Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me give you a little bit before we start the third set here of some other action that we're seeing. Salisbury and NYU tied up 2-2. Hope and Wash U tied up 1-1. And Wisconsin Whitewater taking the lead the first set over Gustavus Adolphus. So a lot more action in this second round to be had here in Lexington, Kentucky. But excited to update you with other action in Division III. We are in set 3 here. And be interesting to see how Carnegie Mellon responds here. Berry definitely appears very loose at this time. And their hitting has been on, to say the least. Jazzy Ennis hitting at 50%. Cypress Gunther hitting at 44%. Molly Bergen at 22%. And that's not to take away Laura Raychard from Carnegie, who's been swinging away there at 33%. So lots of hitting action here. So Stella Yan back with the service. Ball is up. Ennis with the hit off the blockers and out of bounds. So for the third match in a row, they start with a kill. Third set right in a row. That's how Berry started each time. Whether they served it or they didn't serve it. Again, Carnegie with a poor pass, so having to do something different. And a weird set there, and Peyton Brysinger can't do anything with it. But just another point of emphasis on how very important it is. We don't talk enough about how important those passes are, but they really, really are. That's a long serve out. And that's going to give Berry a point in the service back. Jen Atten back to serve for the Berry Vikings. Setter for Berry, Emily Rapek, is on the front row along with Brysinger, her hitter. And I cannot see the other hitter, I'm sorry. I will tell you in a second who else is on the front row with her. That was Elizabeth Schilmer with that hit. for Carnegie. And on the front row there, they couldn't see was Cypress Gunther. Mallow has checked in. Mallow has checked in, I should say. So Mallow and, oh no, Mallow has just come out. Ball is up. Reisinger on the outside. She's up and on top. Good pass up there. And off of, through the block is Catherine Jackson. Serving is Abby Chen. And they kept that one alive. That was a good hit by Breisinger. And that is in. Nice call there by the line judge. I agree with him on that. That was Cypress Gunther. Hit just right before that line. Back to serve is the setter, Emily Rapek. So we got 3 hitters on the front row for Berry. 2 on the front row for Carnegie. Tries to tip it through with a hard push there. That is Elizabeth Shelmer. And that they ends up pushing it and going out of bounds off of the block. Bella Woodward checking in on the front row. As Mindy Lai goes back to serve. So Catherine Jackson is also on the front row for Carnegie. There's a stoppage of play with some discussion at the table. And not sure, a signal was made to the coach, but I couldn't see from here what that was. That ball is long, and that's going to give the ball and point back to Berry. Tied up 4-4. It's going to be Peyton Breisinger who's back. Jazzy Ennis tries to make it to the back row for him. That's a swing and a miss there by Jane Dean. A miscommunication on the set. A little confused there with Carnegie. It looks like, again, started there with a passing woes. She's got Bella Woodward, Jane Dean on the front. Nice set there to Bella Woodward in a difficult situation. Ball to Molly Bergen. Ball is up. Good save there by the setter. Jazzy Ennis has to use her left hand as it was tight. Free ball coming over. See if the Vikings will be able to use it. A tip play, well played tip by number 15, Molly Bergen. Nice play by her. Berry now with a 2-point lead. Ball is in the back. Forces a tip there for Catherine Jackson. Molly Bergen swinging away, and it's down. Thank you for being with us. This is the Transy Sports Network. We'll be right back with you after you take a breath. Peyton Breisinger back with the service. Nice pass up. Bella Woodward with the hit. Almost, I don't think she meant to set up the other team, but that's exactly what she did. I think she was hoping to set it back on her own side, but actually set it over the net. Berry now with a 4-point lead. Back to Bella Woodward, and she does not make the same mistake twice as she puts one down there. Bella Woodward, a really stellar outside hitter for Carnegie, did a strong job yesterday, continuing that same today. It's going to send Catherine Jackson back to serve. Ball's up for Molly Bergen. Free ball coming over. See if the Vikings are able to use it close to the net. And that's going to be a call. I thought it was pretty close. It's Carnegie Mellon now within 2. Nice serve there. Molly Bergen with a hit. And that's an excellent lineup for Barry when you've got Bergen, you got Ennis, you got Gunther on the front row. I mean, you've got a lot of guns to go at for hitting. It's Woodard with the serve. Going to the outside. Woodward coming up big on that. I assume it hit the antenna on that, but it gives the point back. But Woodward swinging away. Barry by 4. Whittle back to serve. Malo with a hit. That was Laura Raychard. This is Molly Bergen with the tip. Woodward with a tip up. Back to Laura Raychard. Going to the middle. That's Malo. Good rally going here. There's going to be a tip. Molly Bergen. There's Woodard, and it's going to be out. Hoping for a tip. And it's not called. Long rally there between the two. Could have gone either way. Coach Marguerite talking to Bergen, telling her to cut that in when she hits here from the weak side. Long hit there from Laura Raychard. Substitution coming in. Stella Yan coming in for Woodard. Set is up. Nice hit there. Swing hit there by Jane Dean for a kill, just what they needed. So change up for them as they go back to their original setting formation. Avani Shoshana is back to serve. She has brought them good luck back on the service line. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I almost did that to them. She has really served well for them the last 2 days, and then I say that and she misses. Bergen back to serve. Barry with a 6-point lead. Widow with a nice pass up. Ennis loaded. Nice up there by Lai. Malo with a hit. Good block. Going back to Ennis. Block is up. Dives. Goes. Oh, nice job there by Carnegie Mellon. Another dive on the ground. Good hit. There's a tip. Goes in between. Oh, and what a hard-fought time there. Lai and Yan made some great digs to keep Carnegie alive. Continue to fight. Carnegie Mellon's coach calling a timeout here. But she has to be proud of the way that they did on that rally there. Just continue to fight as much as they can. Transy Sports Network here. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back with you. Thank you for joining us at the 2022 Division III Women's Volleyball Regional Championship. We are in the third set of the second round, first match of the day. Carney able to keep that alive even with the overpass. Good up there by the libero. Tip with the left hand by Ellis. Coming out to the outside, that's Laura Raychard. She gets it back over. Setter gets it back to Laura Raychard, and she goes long. Bergen back serving. Barry with an 8-point lead. Laura Richard with a stellar hit there, showing why she's one of the best hitters on this team. Elizabeth Schilmer, the freshman from Centerville, Ohio, now on the front row. That was Stella Yans to serve. Malo with the hit. Schilmer with the hit. Malo with the tip. Ball is up. Back to Schilmer, who's off the net. Swinging away. They're going to call that a tip. As Stella Yan goes back. Ball is up. Miscommunication on the back row between Breisinger and Whittle. Ends up just hitting on the ground. Point for Berry. So, point for Carnegie as they inch within 5. Out to Jazzy Ennis. Gets one good in. Miscommunication there by Carnegie. Sends it over as a free ball. Let's see if they're able to use it. Malo has a miscommunication. I don't even know how she really got that over. There's a hit by Laura Raychard. Back out to Jazzy Ennis, and she was loaded. And you can just tell that young lady, it's like her arm swings around. Needed to bring the block in. The block was way too far out and gave her a perfect bullet to hit it down. Jazzy Ennis now with 11 kills. She's hitting at 44%. Ball is up. Schilmer hits it, and it is blocked by a combination of Malo and Breisinger. Berry with a 7-point lead. Nice swing hit there. That was Kaya Herkenrother. And that was number 15. Again, Laura Raychard. Laura Raychard now with 10 kills for Carnegie. Young lady's arm might fall off. She has been swinging it a lot. Malo with a tip. And she's going to be called in the net. So point for Carnegie. Up by Ennis, over to, that was over to Peyton Breisinger. It is blocked. They try to get it back over, but it goes out of bounds. So point for Carnegie, and they are within 4. Ennis with an up, Malo with a hit. Going to the outside there, that's Jackson. Comes up and over top of the block, falls. Carnegie, closest they've been all game with 3 here, or at least recently with 3. Little with a double hit called. And that's going to be a timeout for Berry as Carnegie has come within 2. Thank you for joining us. This is Transy Sports Network. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with you. And we're back in action as Laura Raychard back to serve. The junior outside hitter who's taken a lot of swings today from Puerto Rico. That's going to hit the antenna. And that was Peyton Breisinger. And so quickly here, Carnegie within 1. Malo with a hit. And that's going to be long. That was Catherine Jackson with a long hit. Trying to call touch here, but no touch is called. So Berry back up by 2. Jen Atten is back to serve. Services up. Nice hit there by Catherine Jackson for a kill. Bonnie Shashad come in to serve. There's a swing play there. They keep it alive. That was Cypress Gunther. It's going out to Peyton Brysinger. It's off the hands, keeping it alive, but out of bounds there. Berry back to a 2-point lead. Kai Herkenrother checking. Nope, she's out. Let's see, then we got Jane Dean, Stella Yan, and a check on who's supposed to be in there, and Catherine Jackson. And the fans from Berry encouraging the team to row. And the down official going over to speak to Coach Bach. Now walking over to talk to the coach from Berry. I don't know if the substitutions happened so fast they missed them. I can tell you I was a little confused because people were flying in and out. And that happens a lot of times with the libero, but not sure there. Emily Rupick back to serve. Wow. It's going to be a free ball over. See if the Vikings will use it. And they do, and that is an exclamation point by Peyton Brysinger. Gotta have that first pass. Passing is so essential to the success. Passes up. That's Shelmer on the outside. And that is a kill there as Molly Bergen comes in the middle for a hit. So 21-17, 4-point lead. As Emily Rapek is back to serve. And Elizabeth Shelmer not willing to say it's over yet with a kill there of her own. Substitution as Mindy Lai comes in for her. And she'll be serving for the Tartans. 3-point lead. Long deep serve there. Over to Brysinger. She is on top, and the ball is called touch. They call that touch by the line judge, and that's going to be a point for Berry as Brysinger goes back to serve. Nice up there. A swing. They stay it alive. Goes over as a free ball, but oh no, they overpass it. Jazzy Ennis makes them pay for that one. That was number 18, Jane Dean, with that first hit there for Carnegie. And Carnegie 18, Berry 23, Peyton Brysinger serving. Ball's on the outside there. That's Catherine Jackson. Ennis gets it up, back to Ennis, and it lands in the back corner just where she wanted it to. And so we are set point for Berry. They get this. They have swept Carnegie Mellon. But they're taking it back over Molly Bergen, and she puts it down. And that is going to be it here as Berry defeats Carnegie Mellon 25-18, a sweep of 3-0, and Berry's headed to the third round, which will be tomorrow at 5. They'll play the winner of the next game, which is Emory versus Transylvania. That game is slated to start at 8. Stay with us. There will be ceremony for the non-advancing team here. You'll see recognition of each of the players of the Carnegie Mellon team and a congratulations to them for their success for this season. Be back with us. We'll be back on air about 10 minutes till 8. You're listening to the Transy Sports Network.